Unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother, he going global. Ass hold it down for the ladies, they need their own show. But we right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, you shouldn't miss a minute. But we right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute.
Welcome to another episode of Time Out with Coach Cam. I'm your host, Cam Chancellor, and I'm excited to be here to give you another show. I know it's been slow with everything's going on, but hey, we're going to try to give you, a little entertainment, a little insight what's been going on. We'll just cover a couple things today. First, we're going to cover the MJ, The Last Dance. Obviously, that's been a great documentary.
Every day was a battle.
Parts 5 and 6 were last night. I'll give my opinion on that. Also, I'll have my video producer, my guy Danny. He'll be on after that segment, and we're going to talk everything Bengals, give off-season grades, and what are realistic expectations for the Cincinnati Bengals. But first and foremost,
Any cost.
I have to talk about MJ's Last Dance. This show, honestly, has been a godsend for all of us sports fans on Sunday nights. It's been great. I'll be waiting for it on Sunday mornings. I'll be waiting anxiously for 9 o'clock to happen. What we see in this documentary, honestly, guys, is just sheer greatness. Absolute greatness, from an individual as far as on the basketball court. Without Michael Jordan, the NBA is not what the NBA is today. And that's what people need to realize. It's not just about the talent. It's not just about the skills. It's about how he moved the game forward. He made it a global game, especially when they went to the 92 Olympics. That what made European players want to come over and play in the NBA. This how you got your Dirk Nowitzkis. This how you got your Pau Gasols. This how you got your Manu Ginobilis. Just because of what Michael Jordan accomplished, especially going over there in '92, and he just changed the way the game is looked at, and he changed the way what we wear. I mean, think about it. If he doesn't choose Nike. He never even wanted to choose Nike. That was a great story. He never wanted to choose Nike. That was his last on his list. Think about it. We could be rocking some Adidas. You know what I mean? We could be rocking some the Air Jordan Adidas version. You never know. I just think that was very, very interesting to look at. I mean, it's changed the way, like I said, Nike struck gold, to be quite honest, and got lucky. You know what I mean? And that's what's crazy. You thought that Nike was always this big company. No, they struck gold with Michael Jordan and got lucky because his parents told him to take the meeting. He didn't even want to go. He didn't even want to go to the meeting. I thought that was very interesting as well. But man, once he got to that like Mike status, it was over. With the commercial, I want to be like Mike. It was nothing anybody can do to stop him. And what makes Michael Jordan the best player of all time? And to me, there's some other players that could be considered. But Michael Jordan, for me, is the best player of all time. Just because of not only the competitive nature, but just the will to win. The will to win just separates him from a lot of players that probably has more talent than him or even equal. It's just a sheer will to win. Refuse to take a loss. And if he did take a loss, he was going to come back better to try to beat you. And that's the thing. I think that's the big difference when people compare, and I hate to do it, but people compare LeBron and Jordan. That's the big conversation today. LeBron and Jordan. People compare it all the time. However, for me, it's pretty simple. I know the NBA is different now, and I'll put a feather in that cap. The NBA is different. However, could you imagine after Michael Jordan losing to the Pistons twice, he called Hakeem Olajuwon and Charles Barkley to join forces? Do you know how crazy that sounds? Think about it. Think about how crazy. He get on the phone with call Hakeem Olajuwon and Charles Barkley. Hey, man, we need to team up. We need to do something. Come on, man. That sound crazy. And that would be an unfair squad. two of the best players along with him in his draft class. That's why I have to give the advantage to Mike, because not only he ain't leave, he got in the weight room, figured, okay, he found out what the weakness was, improved the weakness, and came back and beat a team that came back and that beat him twice. That is just the whole pedigree of a champion. And that's what it is for me, being watching The Last Dance and just seeing, you know, his overall greatness and getting some detail into it. Like, you know, I mean, just you try to find a weakness with Michael Jordan, he's gonna improve that weakness and come back and make that his strength. And that to me is remarkable. And when people say he was losing in the first round to Boston and all that before Pippen, come on, y'all. He was playing with crackheads. He was playing with dope fiends, y'all. For real. The only player that you can name, out on those 80, 85, 86, 84 to 86 teams is Charles Oakley. That's it. You name me Michael Jordan starting 5 in 85 and you get back to me without using Google. Because you can't. Hell, I can't. I can only give you Oakley and Norman Love. That's it. I don't know nobody else outside Jordan and them two. So, and then another thing. Pippen wasn't a self-made player. Pippen just didn't wake up good or enter the NBA good. Michael Jordan kind of told him like, bruh, you're good. Stay in this gym, work with me, and let's get right. Let's win these championships. We need you. I need you to come along with me. I need you to be my Robin. And Pippen said it on the show. He said it. Mike gave me that drive. Mike gave me that, you know, that extra motivation because he always in the gym. I need to be in the gym too. He said it. Horace Grant. These guys didn't come in the NBA ready. He helped them get there. So, and you may not like the way he helped them get there, because it was cruel. It was yelling at them, screaming at them, demanded perfection, but it worked. It worked. It worked. And I know a lot of people want to talk about the whole, you know, Michael Jordan gambling and everything like that. I'm glad it came out that, as far as him gambling, it had nothing to do with him leaving the NBA. Okay, so he didn't get suspended for gambling. Okay, he left because he got tired of hearing all the noise. He got tired of being a superstar. That's why he left. And in the night at that time, there is no social media. So all the access they have is sticking the camera in your face, figuring out where you're at, trying to get an interview, there's no rest. There's no rest. There wasn't no Skype. We could try to Skype interview somebody. He can chill. No, he got to do live interviews with people. They get tiresome. They get worrisome. So he left the game for a minute. The part that touched me the most was the Kobe part. Oh man, the Kobe part. And that's why I feel like, you know, if you go call somebody closest to Jordan, you want to compare Kobe.
Michael Jordan. I got mine. Here is Michael. Count it plus the foul for Jordan.
I grew up watching Michael on TV, and now you got a chance to go face to face with him. You get a chance to really see and like touch and feel strength,
Kobe.
speed.
Compare Kobe to Jordan. Because he don't want, like I said, ain't no I in team. Jordan said, shit, it's an I and win. I'll make it happen. Kobe said, hey. Shaq said, hey, man. Ain't no I in team. Kobe said, hey, it's a me in that month, though. You know what I mean? Like, find a way to do it. They was the exact same type of player, almost the same type of person. And I think Michael gravitated towards Kobe more because he's seen it in him. He seen that 19-year-old Kobe he saw Was the young Jordan he saw come in the league, want to take every shot, want to don't trust his teammates, want to do it.
He's got the ball in his hands again. To Garnett. Back to Kobe.
He just want to get to the offensive man and go one-on-one. Yeah. Come on, make his ass work down here.
Get out, we got to get back.
But that's why he said on the documentary, he ain't gonna pass it to nobody in this All-Star game. He just want to go one-on-one. He ain't gonna pass it to nobody. Cause he knew that's how he was. He wasn't gonna pass it to nobody. So that's why he looked at him. He kind of looked at him as a little brother and said, hey, you need anything, you call me. And you know, and Kobe gave him the utmost respect, man. I was watching it. It just got emotional all over again. Like that, Kobe is gone. That's still hard to believe to me that Kobe Bryant is now no longer with us. But watching him on that documentary, you know, and how he articulated, he's like, when people say, Kobe, you can beat MJ one-on-one, he say, hold up. What you see from me is from him. So don't disrespect. So, you know, and that was awesome to see. But this show has been absolutely outstanding. You know, I'm enjoying The Last Dance. The next episode is supposed to be about him smacking Steve Kerr in practice. Those was one of the episodes, so that'll be great there. And a lot of people, and some people, you know, text me and ask me like, or told me like, see, you know, Michael Jordan ain't support that black politician that was running for office. Like, you see, I mean, I can understand it, and I understand where people are coming from on that. But you got to understand, not everybody can be a martyr. Because you're a superstar, that don't make you a martyr at any point. LeBron, I salute him for that. I salute him for taking on that challenge. That I'll give him the utmost respect for that. Thank you. However, you can't expect everybody, because they make millions of dollars, to be MLK, the next MLK. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He even said, I don't want to be a role model. My way of inspiring young kids or inspiring people is through how I work. I'm a hard worker. I'm an example type of guy. If I inspire people that way, that's fine. If not, because I'm not going to please anybody in no way. Michael Jordan done built hospitals, done donated, and then what you get? Oh, he could put a little more on it. It ain't enough. He's done work. People still think he the Michael Jordan that done invested in prisons. That's a terrible myth. That's not true. So, you know, people do things in their own way, and you got to allow them to do them in their own way. So for me, that doesn't take away from Mike's legacy at all. Like I said, for me, he's still one of the greatest players to ever touch the floor. And like I said, I'm excited to see him, you know, and see the rest of the episodes, you know, 7 through 10. All right, coming up next, I have my guy, Danny. We'll talk some Bengals right after the timeout. All right, we are back from the timeout, and we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals there. Honestly, it's been an exciting offseason for the Cincinnati Bengals. Normally, we don't have this much action, but with us having the number 1 pick, there was a lot of scrutiny on us. Is Burrow going to come here? That was squashed. I figured that was BS anyway, but it was squashed relatively early. And you know, honestly, we spent some money there. We signed some free agents in the tampering period, which is rare for us, and spending $145 million.
A lot of money.
Overall, how would you grade the offseason overall? If you had to give a grade, A to F, what would you give?
Off-season grade overall, including the draft and everything, I would give it a solid B plus.
B plus.
I'll be reasonable there. I was gonna say A, but I'm like, nah, I'm just being biased, but I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
B plus. I feel like we didn't address the O-line issue as much as we should have.
Right.
But what we address is something our defense was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
So that's one of the things I said, either you beef up the defense this year.
Okay.
Or you beef it up next year, but I'm saying that defense, you need that defense coming right away.
Absolutely.
You can't not give Joe Burrow no defense. Mm-mm. You can't, because it's time. Yeah. It's time. It's Joe Burrow's time to shine, and it's that defense is what I love. That's why I give it a B plus. Like I said, I just feel like they need to address the O-line a little bit more, but it's a process. It's a process.
It is a process. I thought they did really, really well. I give them a B. I'll give them a B. And I think that's a great grade. From the off seasons we had, if I was grading before, it'll be D, D range. But I'll give them a solid B. I like what they did. I like the DJ Reader signing. Mm-hmm. At first I was like, D tackle, why nose tackle? But the more I read into it, the more I started looking into it, I'm like, okay, I like that signing. That's cool. Right. The Trey Wayne signing was in for me. Yeah. That's what I think. That signing alone is what caused it for me to slide the grade down from a B plus to a B, because we gave him Dre-like money. And he kind of played like Dre. You know what I mean? And that's my thing. I'm like, we gave him Dre. But you know what? Maybe they see something that fit their system better than what Dre can, provide. So I'm gonna give him a chance there. I like the Mackenzie Alexander move. I think that's probably the biggest one I like. That's the sleeper. That's the sleeper. Big move. And a lot of people saying, well, they get all these corners that can tackle, but they can't. What can they cover? Well, guess what though? A lot of times now, where the offense is going, a lot of empty sets, a lot of getting the ball out quick, and then letting your receiver work in space. A lot of times, where Bengals let go of big plays, they didn't make tackles. Oh my God. You need your secondary to be able to tackle. Dre couldn't tackle. He was very bad. So I think, we're getting some guys that can, make sure tackles, in the slot position, the corner position. That helps the run defense as well. So I give them a B overall. And I think, that's a solid overall grade. Now, I'm going to kind of stick with the offseason here, kind of draft, kind of stick with that. I have a question for you. What is your favorite value draft pick that we have? Obviously, Joe Burrow was the most important. Probably was the best. But other than that, what was your favorite draft pick out of this class?
I don't know why I have a thing, but I like Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson. It's either between Logan and what's the other guy from the linebacker?
Akeem Davis-Gaither.
Yeah, him. Yeah. It's either between them two, because them two alone, I was on Twitter, and them two alone had more tackles than the whole defense we had last year combined. So I'm like, so these some tackling machines, and I love fundamental football. Yeah. Tackle your man. Yeah. Don't just tackle him. Don't be too pretty. That's why I didn't like Dre too much, because Dre was too pretty and he didn't know how to tackle. This is football. Tackle the man so we can move on to the next play. Yeah. But I like those two. Those are tackling machines, and every highlight I was watching, they was running to the ball. Yeah, and I like that, and I like a young linebacker with a motor. That's what you really need. And so I think Logan Wilson is the one, I think, because he's gonna come in and I think start immediately.
Yeah, I think he's gonna play right away. I think both of them will play right away in situations. I think our first 4 draft picks will play significant role for us right away, and that's huge. I think we drafted well there, as long as they stay healthy, which is
the biggest issue we
with
have.
The Bengals, right? And they stay healthy. But my favorite draft, the more and more I look at it, because I was on board with Akeem Davis-Gaither, for a while through Blake and all that, because he kind of getting a hit to him. But the more I love T. Higgins, man. Yeah. The more and more I look back on it, the more I love the T. Higgins.
I knew what we was getting out of T. Higgins,
was like,
man. I knew it.
And and it was just rumored out there that that's who we was gonna draft, and I'm like. At first, I'm like,
I didn't think they was gonna go that high.
I'm like a receiver. I know a receiver that high. I'm like,
but when it was on the board,
and then that you hear that when Joe Burrow was working out with Jordan Palmer, he was throwing to T. Higgins. That's developing some chemistry, and it's kind of giving me that Dalton AJ feel all over again.
I said that.
And kind of restarting that with the rookie quarterback, rookie receiver, and he gets to learn from AJ Green. He gets to watch the ultimate professional do it every day.
They have almost the same body type.
Yeah,
they're the same player.
The same player. T. Higgins, a Bengal fan. AJ Green, his favorite receiver. You couldn't really go wrong with this pick. So the more and more I look at it, the more and more I'm liking the T. Higgins pick. And Clemson wide receivers normally end up panning out.
Wide receivers and their defensive backs.
Yeah. So, and they end up playing out. So I'm excited for that pick. I like the McKenzie. The T. Higgins. The T. Higgins pick. That was great.
Like I said, that was probably the biggest. It kind of threw a curveball at me. And I'm like, okay. And then I looked up at it and I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad. Especially for when Joe Burrow. Because he was going to go off that, I think when the championship game, he got hurt. Yeah. He got hurt, but he was about to go off.
Yeah. He did get hurt. T. Higgins was balling. And now, what I will say there, I know a lot of people are concerned. We didn't pick an offensive lineman until the 6th round. Where we pick a Dingy in the 6th round. I thought we would go Josh Jones maybe in the 3rd.
He was slipping.
When he slipped to the 3rd, I thought we would get him. But we ended up with Logan Wilson, the linebacker, which our linebacker core has been trash since I've been born, it feels like. I feel like we, as a whole, I've never seen a good linebacking core. We've seen a flash of Burfict. Yeah. We've seen Odell Thurman for a year. Yep. But we haven't seen good linebacker play here in Cincinnati. I haven't seen it. No. So I'm excited about those two picks. So if we double back to back, I'm like, that's cool. That's cool, especially, to get some of those old Marvin Lewis linebackers out there. Because, they were awful.
They need to let, what's his name, Hardy Nichols? He needs to be gone.
He's terrible.
Oh, my. How did he make it to the NFL?
He's awful. And then last year we were so bad. I remember on Monday Night Football, we was playing the Steelers. I was at the bar. And, I ain't gonna lie, I'm lit at this point. You know what I mean? It's early in the game. Score like 3-0. It was a linebacker out there, man. His name was Leroy. I never heard of him in my life. Yeah. Leroy Reynolds. I'm like, man, it sounded like he was working on cars last week. We got him on Monday Night Football. I'm like,
he changed some oil last week.
I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But last year though was a lot of experiment.
I think it was.
It was a lot of things, and that's why I think when the Ryan Finley experiment, that was an experiment.
Yeah.
So I felt like everything that we did last year up to this point was very great. Very great.
Yeah. I agree with you. There. Now. Number 14, Andy Dalton, was cut Thursday by the Cincinnati Bengals. He was picked up this weekend by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I would have put my money on the Jags, or maybe New England, but my money was on the Jags with Jay Gruden and everything like that. What would you take away from Andy's time here? As a Bengal, it's not your career here as a Bengal.
What I will say is, even though Andy was probably the placeholder as far as our quarterback in Cincinnati, he did bring some light to the city. Some light.
Absolutely.
Those first 5 years was like glorious. Those were years where next year, dog. It's it, but it's just it couldn't get over that hump. And then we saw the worst. The worst where it's like, what are these players doing? Andy, I don't know. It's just for what he had in Cincinnati, he produced. Okay, I should say. I love Dalton. I love Dalton for what he did, for what the pieces Paul Brown gave him. I love Dalton. It's just, sometimes you just got to move on. And I appreciate everything he's done for the city, definitely. He brought light to the city.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. And This is my remember like kind of like share your sentiments there. He gave us light for the first 5 years here, and you know, like I said, he wasn't the best quarterback in the world, but you knew that Andy wasn't necessarily gonna mess it up. He wasn't gonna mess it up, and he'll win you about 3 games a year. Where you like he got to get you 28 maybe. He'll win you about 3 games a year. Rest of that was, you know, team success, everything like that. But Andy wasn't all bad. He's a product. I almost like the Marvin Lewis syndrome, where Mike Brown just keep the pieces here too long, and we end up hating the player by the time he leaves because he shouldn't be here in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like, I don't think we really truly appreciated Marvin when he left because we remembered the, you know, just the inept, you know, clock management and everything like that, and the 0-7 play. He, like, you know, with Dalton, to be honest, I was a huge Dalton supporter. Big Dalton supporter. I was going to root for him. Dalton could do it. He just need to get hot one time. He could do it. Flacco can do it. Dalton can do it. That was my whole thing. If Flacco could do it, Dalton could do it.
That's a fact.
And the thing with Dalton was he just couldn't rise up in prime time. He just couldn't do that. But like I said, it's no slight against him. But I just knew Dalton, honestly, deep down in my heart, I knew Dalton wasn't the one in 2013.
Yeah.
When we was at home against San Diego.
That's a fact.
And we lost that game, and he fumbled, diving, and no one touched him, I knew he wasn't the one for us. I said, you know what? I'm hoping he can get over this, but I know deep down he ain't it. He ain't it, and honestly, any realistic franchise would have probably looked to move on from Dalton around 2. Now, what did he say right then? Because, you know, he bounced back at the 2015 season before he broke his thumb and everything like that. I would say about 2017. We're about 3 years too late.
Okay.
Once you had that 2016 year where we faltered at and then you get worse after, then you gotta start raising your eyebrow like, any other franchise would be like, okay, you're getting worse. Maybe we need to start this rebuild process now.
That's a fact.
And I think that's, like I said, he's a product of staying too long in a place. And Dalton wasn't bad.
He wasn't
bad at all. And, you know, I wish him well with Dallas. And what is Dallas doing, though? Signing Dalton to a $3 million deal, which is okay, veteran backup money, okay. But the $7 million incentive got me raising my eyebrow. It's because it sounds like he can earn some money playing, which... Is he gonna play? I think they're preparing for Dak to have a Le'Veon Bell type holdout. What you think, man?
So this is what my opinion on the whole thing is. I feel like Dak. This is maybe the last year we may see Dak in Dallas. Now the reason why is either it's 2 things Jerry Jones is doing. Either lighting some fire under Dak behind. Look. You know, Dalton could come in here and get the job done for what we have. I'm pretty sure he will want to. So you need to figure it out so we can get this contract situations, you know, figured out. Or if you want to continue this holdout, you can do so. We got Dalton. So in that case, if Dalton comes out and start winning, which I believe he can.
Yeah, he will with that cast.
With that squad, yes, I believe he can. Dallas may get over that hump. And it's over that hump because, you know, Dak, I just feel like Dak is out of Dallas. But I feel like Andy, this is a good time to figure out, you know, is he going to be a backup going forward? I feel like Andy got maybe a solid 4 years just so you can get him in that time frame to get your next franchise quarterback in.
He'll filler.
Exactly. And then from there, he may be a backup. But I feel like Andy can get the job done in Dallas. It's just it's under Dak. It's really all eyes on Dak right now. That's all it is.
I think they have reserve. I mean, I don't think they don't mind paying him a certain amount of money. But when you get into the $40 million range, like, that quarterback, he gotta be for sure Powerball, man. Like, that's how I feel about when you start talking close to Watson money, what Mahomes gonna get, what Lamar gonna get. Like, you gotta make sure they are, that quarterback is for sure Because once you sign that quarterback, man, your window shrinks because you can't sign everybody.
You can't pay players.
You can't pay players. You can't pay. That's why if you've seen the Dallas Cowboys, if you've seen them in the offseason, they was nickel and dime, man. They were trying to bring Alden Smith back on the deal. Like, you know what I mean? They just didn't really have the money to do things because they know they're trying to sign Dak. But I'm shocked that you go out and sign a quarterback of the caliber of Andy Dalton to be your backup before you get the deal done with your franchise guy.
Like I tell people, Dallas Cowboy is just the prima donnas of the Bengals. It's the prima donnas and it's just American team, but they still operate things. You just like, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know what the Cowboys are doing, but I can't lie, they had a good draft.
They did.
They hit a home run on that draft. Getting CeeDee Lamb at 17 is just unfair.
And that's why I'm like, Dalton would love that.
Think about it, he get to throw to Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb.
You would love that. I would love that as a quarterback.
To Zeke.
Oh my God, I forgot about Zeke. We didn't even talk about Zeke.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So that's what I'm saying. Cowboys really is loaded, but it's kind of like, Stephen A. Smith said, an accident waiting to happen. What can go wrong will go wrong with the Dallas Cowboys, and no matter how talented they are, they got 8-8 written all over. now going into the season, Bengal fans are ecstatic, and we got a right to be. We seen a tough season, 2 wins. We didn't know if we was gonna win a game. We was 0-11. It was 0-11. So, we're excited. We got the number 1 pick. We got Joe Burrow, who we feel like was the best quarterback that's came out in a while. Skill set wise, IQ wise, everything like that. Plus the spending of the money. Got the people excited. I'm hearing possible. Fans talk about possible playoffs. What are your realistic expectations? Like, what would you consider a season of success for the Cincinnati Bengals? And just for preference, guys, we were 2-14 last year. 2-14. Okay. What's your realistic expectation on this?
I to be honest with you, possibly win 6 games. I will say win 6 games. I will be pushing it if I say 8-8. I'll be pushing it, but I feel like 6 games because people have to realize. One, Joe Burrow is a rookie. I understand that, but his skill set we know. But still, this is the NFL. This is not LSU. This is not college football.
He gonna throw some picks.
You have to understand. We have to make sure this man understands his offense so he can be successful. 2, we have a lot of young guys coming in. So we have a lot of new guys coming in too, free agents. So they may not come in right away. What if DJ Reader is a complete bust? We don't. That's things we have to think about. And then also, we still have to figure out, as far as who's going to be our next playmakers as far as going forward. So I just think maybe 6 games. I feel like my expectations, they will be 8-8. I'll probably be the highest they will get. I feel like 10 games, I don't think so. But 8-8 is the highest I feel like they can go.
Okay, 8-8 is the max for you. Realistic expectation, to be quite honest, I had him around 6-10, 7-9. I want Burrow to win, or offensive rookie of the year, or it better be neck and neck with somebody that's doing outstanding. Like, he better hold his own end of the bargain. Like, he better be up there. He has to be up there.
You know who I think may win it though?
Who?
The guy, his running back from LSU who got drafted to Kansas City. That's the only one I think. Because if you think about it, other than offense, unless the other teams can get it together, Joe is the perfect one to win this because, quarterback, of course.
Right.
But that's the only one I think. But Joe Burrow, I do believe he may win it because just the place he's in.
And the reason why I say 6-10 or 7-9 is this. Like, first of all, you're 2-14. A 4 or 5 win difference with the type of offseason we had is not asking for too much. And I feel like if we can't get 6 wins out of this group, then I'm eyeing Zach Taylor as an issue moving forward, coaching this group. Because the talent is there.
It is.
And honestly, even the year prior to Zach coming, before AJ injured his foot, we was 5-3. People don't realize. People can say what they want to about AJ Green. AJ Green worth about 6 wins. That's what's crazy. We go from possibly 8 or 9 win team to 2-win team without one person.
That is a fact. You can look it up.
I mean, for real. I mean, when Green's on that field, we are significantly better. We're significant. So if he gives us 12 games, 13 games, we're going to be a better ball club.
Yes.
We're going to be a better ball club. So I really feel like 6-10, 7-9 is realistic expectation. Let's have the defense possibly get out this 32 hole.
Oh my God, that's
last in the league.
Yeah, that's what really.
We got to get them to the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's really what's going to restructure our team is that defense.
You can't just go out there and just give up touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
400 yards. Oh, they get 500 yards altogether. Like, they're just throwing it and running it. And it's like, bros, come on.
Can't stop nothing.
Nothing.
And you know, but like I said, the defensive pieces they got, they can tackle. I think they really, really wanted to put an emphasis on stopping the run. You know, which I think was the reader shining was about, and getting these corners that can tackle. So if they do, break the perimeter, you got somebody there that can, make sure fire tackle, not Dre lunging at the knees and whiffing. So I think, like I said, I am excited about the season. Hopefully there is a season but NFL ain't not gonna mess around. They're gonna have a plan in place just in case.
Yeah, they had
enough time to think of this. So I think we will have an NFL season of some sort. Now, do you have before we end the show? Do you have any concerns though now? Because Cutting Dalton basically saying Burrow starting day one. Burrow starting day one. There is no learning curve. There is no nothing. There's no OTAs. There's no rookie mini camp. There's no mini camp. We going straight into training camp. Day one, Joe Burrow is the guy. They don't scare you just a little.
It does, coming from me being a Bengals fan, of course. This is different.
Right.
But the reason I'm not as scared is because we need different. The Bengals need different. People, one thing that kills me is if you're on like the Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Oh my God, those groups.
I saw one guy saying we should start Ryan Finley or something like that because Joe Burrow, because we shouldn't start a rookie. Yeah. And people need to get out of that. Joe Burrow, I think is better than Andy Dalton. So in this case, if you keep Andy Dalton, Joe Burrow's starting. I mean, I personally think. It's a whole team. It's a whole team thing. The offense going to have to come back and back up Joe Burrow. Depending on our receiver core, our offensive line, if they can back up Joe Burrow, I feel like he can have success. I'm not as scared. I am scared, of course, because it's a rookie, but I'm not as scared. I feel like he can hold the fort.
Yeah, what made me feel confident about it is Andy Dalton faced a similar situation. When he came into the NFL, it was a lockout season. He had no rookie camp. Everything was rushed. Had to hurry up on the fly, real quick, learn. So I think Joe Burrow can do it. Yeah. And they said he was already studying the playbook. He's been studying the playbook. So I think Joe Burrow would be fine, and of course, we put in terminology and stuff that he likes to do. We're not just gonna be, and that's what they were doing this whole time. They said they done maxed out their interview hours with Joe Burrow. They were figuring out what he likes to do. Okay, what sets do you like? What do you do here on third and 5? What's your money play? And so they can incorporate it. So I am excited, but. This year rides on Zach Taylor to me.
Yeah,
if he doesn't get me 6-7 wins after this 2-14 season, I'm raising my eyebrow because the talent is there. There's enough talent on this roster. Oh, I didn't even mention the offseason pick of Von Bell. That's
the biggest I like too.
You can drop Sean Williams down.
You have depth. That's the thing, and that's the thing that people not realize. We have depth, and that's the thing. We got players you can switch around. We got players that can play different parts of the field.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, and I love it. I love it because I love Sean Williams. I just don't like him in safety. Once I see him, I'm like, oh God.
I like Sean. I like Sean too.
I love Sean.
I like Sean too. I think dropping him down in the box will help him significantly for sure. All right, man. I appreciate you joining me. Talking Bengals. We'll be back. Timeout with Coach Cam. My guy Danny here talking Bengals. We out.
Yes, sir.
Timeout, overtime, hot take, debate, penalty box, so many apps. We on the way. Unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother he going global. Ass hold it down for the ladies, they need their own show. We'll be right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. We'll be right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute.